world took notice in 2012 when a Stanford professor predicted that the thousands of universities around the world would disappear, leaving only 10. What was the threat? A new creature of the internet, the MOOC. Massive, open, online courses, usually free, with popular subjects, attracting thousands of students. So many that it requires software to track them, automated assignment marking and social interaction between the students. The heavy lifting of bandwidth-crunching video hosting was made possible by YouTube. Yet within 2 years, that professor had reversed his prediction, describing it as a junk product. Why? Well, we'd been down this path so many times before. 100 years ago, there was a similar adult education movement called Chautauqua, traveling shows across America offering philosophy, politics, and music. The common person now had access to higher education. But a new invention promised even more: radio. Thomas Edison predicted radio would replace teachers. It didn't. Neither did TV. Next, we had the internet. Then, 10 years later, free video hosting. So now educators didn't need $1 million studio and transmitter. You could broadcast to the world from a coffee table. I'm doing it right now to you. So what excuses are left? Why haven't MOOCs taken over? Well, the limit is a bit of technology, the massive supercomputer you'll find between your own ears, the brain. Our attention spans are limited, and most of us need a piece of paper, a diploma, or certificate these days, no matter what our line of work. At traditional universities, we're paying top dollar for a few things: the credibility of identification and examination. I trust you've passed certain standards if you have this degree, and we know it wasn't your cousin pretending to be you. We know you've learned the latest from leading researchers. Importantly, we'll know you've been acculturated by mixing with other inspired leaders of tomorrow from the correct social class. And from the aforementioned, we assume you've learned something and have some skills you can apply, maybe even in a job. It's hard to deliver all that online, and there is no substitute for the social class elements which still require you to mix with the right people, so you'll all walk the walk and talk the talk of the elite. But MOOCs have done one thing in their short life. They've called the bluff on learning. The sort of person who says, "Oh, I don't care about the diploma, it's the learning I wanted." Sure. And I know you buy that magazine for the stories, not the pictures. Heard all that before. Well, wherever you are these days, if you genuinely want some higher education, the information is there for the taking. Those of us who offer MOOCs know the quality is the same or higher than traditional university. How? Because so many of us are traditional academics. If anything, we put more thought and rehearsal into an online movie than to a live lecture, simply because we can edit out the ums and ahs and add special effects. And we know it's going to be up there a long time on the web. So the learning is there for the taking. What isn't there is the camaraderie, the socialization, the branding, the certification. But this is still clearly a revolution. I can run a MOOC from a coffee table with the netbook and a podcast mic. Don't even need a camera. Avatars and downloadable footage do the job nicely. Much easier than filming a live lecture. I get better visuals and sound quality, and the time and cost are low enough to run a MOOC in your spare time, or as a hobby. It's really just a special type of blog. So MOOCs don't have to replace universities. They're already filling a different 100-year-old niche. The Chautauqua, the correspondence course, night school, self-improvement courses, the conservatory, the book club discussion circle, support group, professional development workshops and conferences, foreign missionary schools, radio school of the air, the flying teacher service, to name a few. Every hour, the internet does something cheaper and ends up replacing it. So before it runs me out of town, I'll step in front and pretend it's a parade. Offering MOOCs is cheaper than going to karaoke, and I don't have to choose one over the other, as I can combine the two and get a much bigger worldwide audience. So why not offer a MOOC yourself? Join the revolution.